Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and today I've got a cool tool alert in the Milwaukee 2113-21 USB Rechargeable Pivoting Flashlight, and that's this little beast here. I have used these in other videos. This is a fabulous light. I use them all the time. I carry them in my vehicles, and I'm just impressed, and the more I use it, the more I'm impressed. It's got a rock solid magnet, I mean a really heavy secure magnet, so it's easy to snap somewhere on your vehicle, under the hood, underneath the undercarriage, anywhere for added lighting. It has essentially three modes. It's got essentially, well, it's got two floods. Basically, that's maybe the low flood. That's the spot. I can actually feel the heat coming off of it, and it is hot, which is why it has those cooling fins on the aluminum right there. And then this is the high flood. So high flood here, low flood, spot, high flood, etc. It's got an on-off button here, the mode button here, and then it has a USB charging port right here, as well as an indicator light. So when you turn it on, you get a color code. In this case, it's, you can see, do that again, that it's a green light, meaning the battery's charged. It uses a red lithium battery. I did about a quarter turn on the back, on the base plate. It's magnetic, very strong. So it's using this battery here. It slides in one way. When it's in correctly, it snaps in at the last step so it doesn't fly out. And Milwaukee, they're saying, you know, in their tests, and your mileage of course may vary, that what you're going to get is in the spot high mode, you know, this mode here where I can feel the heat, it's 500 lumens and you'll get about 2.5 hours of runtime. That's going to be probably about 3 minutes of the full 500, and then it's going to start to taper down in brightness. In the high flood mode, it's about 400 lumens. You can see it's a different type of light. The way it's distributed, that's still pretty bright. And quite useful. You get about 3 hours of runtime there, and then in the low mode, low flood mode, you get approximately 100 lumens of output for, they say, up to 10 hours. And your mileage may vary, obviously. My only complaint really with this thing is I wish this pocket clip was on the other side so you could clip it to something and then use it in that configuration. Instead, the clip is on this side, the same side the light's coming out of, so that seems a little weird. The tilt head does actually have a bit of a down to it as well. It would be nice to go a little bit more, but because the magnet's so strong, it's very easy to improvise something that gives you, you know, the greater tilt if that's what you need. It's nice and lumpy, so it doesn't roll very easily, but it still has a nice slim design with smoothed edges. It is fairly dense though, fairly heavy. Now Milwaukee's had a hit and miss, in my opinion, kind of a track record on lights. This is kind of a classic design flashlight. It actually has a head that, there you go, it can slide in and out. That they machined in what is basically a kind of a spot. Let me turn it on here and see. There's a bit, you see that? Except the problem is this is a sealed design, which means if I slide this out, you can see it slides back on its own. Or if there's any off-gassing of the battery, which is pretty common in batteries, that they actually off-gas. If it's in a sealed chamber, it pressurizes it, which then pushes this out. So if you push it in, it pops right back out. So they need to figure that out, but this whole thing I don't find terribly useful. And it's got a tail cap that you can depress by pushing. That's kind of nice. I can even turn it on and off with a tail cap push. So, you know, it's a crude way to turn them on and off, but if you've only got one hand and it's dark or something, this is a lot easier to figure out than trying to find, you know, which button in that flashlight. So some people really don't care for these things, this particular model. It's okay. It's got room for improvement. I'm glad they're working on it. The Milwaukee flashlights come with these charging cords. This one's the USB micro. I assume the new one, absolute new flashlights are coming with USB-C. I found this a little chunky for use in other devices. It's a pretty big chunk of real estate there that is required in order to slide this up flush with the micro USB port. So that's pretty big. Anyway, it's a solid design. It's kind of a fabric coated cord, nice machined aluminum, looks cool. But anyway, what I like best of the Milwaukee flashlights is this one. It retailed originally when it came out for 120 bucks, which I think, man, Milwaukee really likes their own stuff. Dropped down to about 79, 80 bucks when it came out, or when it really hit the shelves, and then I've seen them as low as $59, and it's definitely, I think, worth it. I've dropped them. I haven't broken one yet. I'm kind of surprised, but it does feel pretty overbuilt. And it might be one of those that you just crack the plastic and then just tape it back up and it's good to go. But anyway, this is a cool tool alert for this particular Milwaukee pivoting head flashlight. With that, Doc